Let me just start by saying we're truly very fortunate that our officers were not seriously injured, our community members were not injured, and the suspect remains stable, critical. So we're very fortunate that there were no deaths today, and we're thankful that our officers are out here doing their job and serving the community in a way that likely saved lives. So I will read this preliminary statement. Just be mindful this information is subject to change. This is very preliminary, so I will read what we have thus far. On April 8th, 2026, just before 8 o'clock p.m., Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department Southwest District officers responded to the 1200 block of West Sumner Avenue on the report of a person shot. When officers arrived, they located an adult male victim believed to have been shot by the suspect outside with a graze wound to his neck. As officers were rendering aid, the suspect began firing shots from an upstairs window of a nearby home. At this point, at least one IMPD officer returned fire. Additional officers arrived and received information that a child was possibly inside the home and in danger. Officers entered the home bravely to look for anyone injured, in danger, and locate the suspect and prevent children from the home, all of whom were reported to be physically unharmed. Officers located an adult male believed to be the suspect upstairs with apparent gunshot wounds. He was transported to a local hospital in critical condition. The male with the graze wound, whom officers were initially called to assist, was transported to a hospital in stable condition. Detectives located a weapon near the suspect on the second floor of the home. Photos will be shared via IMPD News. There are no known injuries to officers or uninvolved community members. The officers who discharged their firearms were equipped with body-worn cameras, which was activated. The Indianapolis Marion County Forensic Service Agency responded to collect potential forensic evidence. The IMPD Critical Incident Response Team is leading the criminal investigation. A separate administrative investigation is being conducted by IMPD Internal Affairs. As standard procedure in officer-involved shooting incidents, the involved officer has been placed on administrative leave. Following the criminal investigation, the Civilian Majority Use of Force Review Board will hold a mandatory hearing regarding the attempted use of deadly force. Police Officer Support Team responded to provide peer support for those involved. The IMPD Victim Assistance Unit responded to assist officers and detectives. The Marion County Prosecutor's Office responded to the scene to assist in the investigation. Anyone with information is asked to call Sergeant Bryant Lambert with IMPD Homicide Office at 317-327-3475 or Crime Stoppers at 262-TIPS. I will now turn it over to Assistant Chief Wally.
Thank you. You know, the reality of the matter is 6 years ago tomorrow, we lost an officer in the line of duty. And when these pages of OISs come across the screen, everyone that wears a badge panics because I want to make sure everyone is okay. I am so thankful that we don't have any officers that are injured. I'm so thankful that the citizen who received the wound on his neck is going to be fine. He's going to be okay, and there is no further loss of life. It's remarkable what these officers do each and every day. Despite the odds, they just worked long weekends making sure that this city was safe. And they're still answering the calls each and every day. And they're making decisions. Ultimately, there are 2 children and there are 2 adults that are going to be fine in that house because they made good decisions, used sound tactics, and they did what we asked them to do each and every day. I am so proud of them. They do a phenomenal job for our city, and I am so thankful for everything that they do. This neighborhood saw some chaos for a little while, but ultimately everything's going to be okay. One of the homes behind us was struck, but everyone is going to be fine. I'm so thankful that everyone, like I said before, is going to be okay. It's just remarkable seeing what our public servants do each and every day. So with that, I'll take any questions that you may have
Just to confirm,
about the incident.
First man who was shot, he's stable, right?
Yes, ma'am. He's stable.
And when you said officers went in the home and there were children, that was in the suspect's home?
That was in the suspect's home. Yes, ma'am. There's
There
it's an apartment.
There were 2 children there. Anything about gender, ages you can release?
I don't have that information.
What is the relationship between the victim and the shooter, the suspect?
I don't have a confirmed relationship. Obviously, I think they're neighbors, but I don't necessarily know. That's more information that we'll get as we put the pieces of tonight, what happened tonight, together.
Do we know why that person was shooting outside of the window of a home across the street, or why they were shooting at the victim?
We don't, but as you look behind you, you've got crime lab out there. You've got investigators that are trying to get to the bottom of things. That may be information that we know later on down the road. I just don't have that information for you today.
Was the suspect who fired at officers the same person who shot the initial victim that you guys were responding to?
We believe so. Yes, ma'am.
And our audience is just tuning in. You said 2 children were in the suspect's home.
Yes, ma'am.
Across-
Total 4 people were inside of that home.
Do you
Of
have
the
a
suspect's
message?
home.
Do you have a message? to
It's
the
it's an apartment style home. I think the way that it's divided.
Do you have
Sorry.
a message for the people in the community? Any
Uh,
takeaways?
My message is, you know, I understand tonight was a little chaotic, especially for this neighborhood. Everything is safe now. There's no loss of life. You're going to see law enforcement in the area for quite some time. Again, trying to put together the pieces of the investigation so we can put together a thorough investigation for both our officers, the other person involved in our community alike. Your officers do a phenomenal job, despite the odds and challenges that they face with staffing and the things that we're seeing in society. They're called to scenes to handle so many different things, and they do their best to handle those things. And they do a remarkable job. In this case, they were literally rendering aid when we believe that rounds were potentially fired. So, phenomenal job.
Last question.
Do you know how many shots were fired by that officer?
I don't have that answer. Again, the investigation will make that more clear as we do round counts and things like that. We'll have a better understanding of that later on.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.